Hey, what's up? This is Gardetrace. Dragon Ball has had a very long history of games, ranging from the Budokai series, the Budokai Tenkaichi series, Raging Blast, Infinite World, Burst Limit, and Xenoverse. But the thing about Dragon Ball games is that as fighting games, they're very clunky and they generally don't appeal to a wider audience, particularly the competitive fighting game community. Now, there are certain games many people may have nostalgic memories of, but when it comes right down to it, most of these games don't really appeal to those outside of dedicated Dragon Ball fans. That is until Arc System Works stepped in to develop this game here. This is a game that definitely appeals to the competitive fighting game community, as well as fans of fighting games in general, which gives this game a lot more broader appeal. And of course, dedicated Dragon Balls will have a lot to greatly enjoy about this game. So today we are here to review the game by Arc System Works, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Taking place after the events of the Future Trunks saga, mysterious clones of the Z Fighters, as well as the villains they fought, have appeared out of nowhere, and mysterious ki-suppressing waves have stripped everyone of their powers, rendering them unconscious. Meanwhile, a mysterious woman who works for the Red Ribbon Army summons Purunga and wishes all of the villains the Z Fighters fought back to life for unknown purposes. Later, Goku awakens while in Bulma's care. However, he is not in control of his own body. Another soul has inhabited his body and has full control of him. Suddenly, Android 16 appears, much to Bulma's shock, as 16 was destroyed by Cell many years ago. This is an all-new Android 16 that has all of the memories of the previous one. He then tests Goku's abilities, and the other soul within Goku's body is able to draw out his abilities. Beerus and Whis appeared during the fight, causing 16 to retreat. They confirmed that there is indeed another person inside of Goku, and the waves contribute to why Goku's consciousness is unable to resurface. Plus, 16 mentions how Goku is linked with another soul, so Bulma sets out to investigate. She then builds a machine to suppress the waves, giving Goku back control over his body, but he still needs the linked soul within him to draw out his power. They set off to find the other Z Fighters, as well as investigate who is responsible for everything. Most Dragon Ball games simply retell the events of Dragon Ball Z. Meanwhile, FighterZ takes place within Super's continuity, and it features an entirely original story never before told. Now, Xenoverse does have its own original story, however, its story is built around the events of Dragon Ball Z, so it is still using Z's story as a crutch. This game has 3 different story arcs. All of them are focused on the new character, Android 21. She is a researcher for the Red Ribbon Army, and she has some sort of connection with Android 16. Her motivations are the mystery of the story, and the first story arc doesn't shine much light on her. In fact, the first story arc's plot is on par with that of a typical Dragon Ball Z movie. The villain isn't very fleshed out, and the plot is very straightforward. The second arc shines more light on her motivations, however, it still has the same issues as the first story arc. The third story arc is the true story of the game, as all of her motivations, as well as who's the real villain, is all revealed, and it's one of the best told stories from Dragon Ball as of late. How come we only get told good stories in the games now? Dragon Ball Super is total crap, so we have to resort to the likes of Xenoverse and FighterZ in order to get told a competent story. Android 21 is nothing like any character featured in Dragon Ball before, and that's a very good thing, as she is a refreshing change of pace. I won't go too into details about her here, as I'll make a separate video for that, but she is easily the best character Dragon Ball has seen in a long time. The other characters are a blast as well, and the absolute best thing about this game's story mode is the character interactions. It features many characters interacting who normally wouldn't be seen together, and each character plays off of each other very creatively. Also, since there is an in-universe reason why everyone is of roughly equal power, it gives the characters with lower power levels a chance to contribute to the fight. This has to be the best use of Dragon Ball's colorful cast of characters, as everyone's personalities really shine and the results are pure comedic gold.
Hey old man, you're Saiyan, right? So hurry up and turn into a Super Saiyan already! Hey, you listening? Hurry up and turn into a...
Knock it off, pipsqueak!
No need to get so angry. Wait, you don't know how to turn into a Super Saiyan, do you?
I wonder, where is it that your confidence stems from? I would think you shouldn't have any at all. You're nothing but a low-class goon. You can't even become a Super Saiyan. That just means you'll be easier to get rid of. Low class? How dare you say that to me? I'm a mid-class warrior! Take a long, hard look, and you'll see for yourself. You are such an idiot.
Arc System Works truly gets these characters. That's too much to ask for Toei.
Let's both do our best!
This is by far the best looking Dragon Ball game. The characters are 3D and cel shaded like most Dragon Ball games, but they look the closest to their anime counterparts than ever before. The animations are very slick and polished, and the colors are very vibrant. The game is straight up gorgeous. The backgrounds look great as well, and during battle, different effects such as deflected ki blasts can interact with the background. Many animations are based on what we've seen in the anime, which makes the game look and feel more like the anime. The only real issue is the lip syncing in certain areas. In the story mode, the mouth movements do occur exactly as a character speaks, as the anime-style lip flaps do help the game avoid the issues that games like Xenoverse had with lip syncing.
Yeah! This is your last chance!
However, outside of story mode, the lip syncing suffers from not directly matching the characters' dubbed voices.
Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. There's another one right here.
Don't bother me and don't get in my way.
Oh, what, he's asleep? You've got to be kidding me. I'm asking if you were created by Dr. Gero.
Gero, that a stupid name.
Oh, for the love of... What are these things? Can they really be this stupid?
If you've seen any recent Dragon Ball anime as of late, well then you will know that the voice acting is quite top notch. Whether you prefer the sub or the dub, both sides do a fantastic job with this game, and along with its good dialogue, this game sounds as good as it looks. Due to medical issues, Chris Aries was unable to voice Frieza for this game, and the role went to Damon Mills, who does a great job matching Aries' voice for Frieza. However, I don't care for Sean Schimmel's voice for Goku Black. For some reason, Sean gave him a British voice, which comes off as rather corny.
My very being towers above all things, the whole universe.
That's weird because in Dragon Ball Super, he goes a completely different route with his voice.
It's about time, Saiyan.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
The soundtrack is very good like most Dragon Ball games. It features many badass tracks that really adds to the gameplay experience. Speaking of which...
The battle's about to start! Good luck!
Everything about this game has been praiseworthy so far, and the gameplay is no exception. The game is a tag team 2D fighter similar to Arc System Works' other game series BlazBlue, and it's also very similar to Marvel vs. Capcom. The controls are very well polished and the action is fast paced and very refined. The controls are very beginner friendly, so it makes this game very easy to pick up and enjoy, and more competitive players will have a lot to keep them invested in the game. The roster consists of 24 characters, which initially seemed very small as it's only one more character than the first Budokai roster. The gameplay avoids the clunky feel that most Dragon Ball games like Budokai and Xenoverse have, and it greatly appeals to fighting game fans whether they like Dragon Ball or not. After playing, the roster feels just right, as an overabundance of characters would result in balancing issues for a game of this style. Although there will be 8 DLC characters to be released later. As for the story mode, while the actual story is awesome, the game mode itself, not so much. It has characters like pieces of a chessboard moving to different spaces across the board fighting enemies encountered. It is very similar to Budokai 2's story mode, and that was a widely hated feature on that game, so it's surprising to see something like it on this game. This feature was so hated, it's the reason why Budokai 2 wasn't a part of the Budokai HD collection. The story mode gets very tedious, very fast. The enemies encountered mostly consist of clones of the characters, and those clones have no personality whatsoever, so it gets very repetitive and it feels like a hell of a lot of padding and filler. Completing all 3 arcs of the story mode can take over a week to complete, especially since you will have to level up your characters to handle enemies in the later arcs. The first arc is ridiculously easy, as no fight offers a challenge even to a complete noob, though the difficulty does go up in later arcs. Completing the story mode is mandatory for unlocking Android 21, and trust me, you do want to unlock her, and you will be very glad to be done with the story mode once you finish it. The character interactions are seen in the cutscenes, which you can view at any time, so there's virtually no incentive to replay the story mode. The game's hub world is a lobby similar to Toki Toki City in Xenoverse, but on a much smaller scale. There are different game modes to choose from in the online lobby, so you'll always find things to do. However, online connectivity isn't very good, as the game has lagging issues and it may take a while to find opponents online depending on your connectivity.
Holly, you too!
Dragon Ball FighterZ is a fantastic game. Arc System Works is full of Dragon Ball fans, and this game is the biggest love letter to Dragon Ball fans everywhere. Now, this game does have its problems, but that doesn't stop this game from achieving greatness. Now, for the longest time, I always said that Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was my favorite Dragon Ball game, as every Dragon Ball game released after it I felt was inferior to this game in one way or another. However, when it comes to what's my favorite Dragon Ball game now, it has some serious competition. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I will be awarding Dragon Ball FighterZ with a score of 9.3 out of 10, giving it a platinum rating with the recommendation to own it. Seriously, own it. Why don't you have this game yet? Get it right now. On the positive side, its colors are very vibrant and the character models are very detailed. The voice acting is very top-notch as well as its dialogue and the game's soundtrack as well. The controls are solid as they're beginner-friendly as well as being good for competitive play. Also, the story is good of great character interactions, and newcomer Android 21 is an amazing character. On the negative side, the lip syncing outside of the story mode is very bad for the dub. The game can have certain connectivity issues when playing online, and also the story mode is such a drag. Dragon Ball FighterZ is available for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. For alternative game recommendations, I could point you towards another Arc System Works game, Blaze Blue, and I could also point you in the direction of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And that is the end of this review. Now, this is my first game review, and I definitely like to do more of these. Now, I'm currently working on my next anime review, and those of you who have seen my Sword Art Online review will know what my next anime review will be about. So if you haven't seen my Sword Art Online review, why the fuck haven't you? Check it out right now. And you'll know what anime to look forward to seeing me review next. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Also like and subscribe to my channel. So with that being said, that'll be the end of this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace, signing out.
Take this! Take this! Try to block this. It's red! Move back! Try to block this. Take this! Go, go! That was right.